Who you doing it for? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live, and that's the question: who are you doing it for? I come to this question by coming across a quote by P.T. Barnum. P.T. Barnum of, the circus and so forth. He wrote a book called The Art of Money Getting. And in that book, he said, "If all the world were blind except myself, I should not care for fine clothes or furniture." And it's a funny way of looking at it. If you really, consider the idea, okay, everyone's blind. Now, except for you, would you still be wearing the same clothes, driving the same car? Would your house look as nice? Would you even have these same items? Or would it matter at all? I mean, you still got all the same relationships, everything else that people can't see. And it brings up the concept of, who are you doing it all for? What's it all about for you in the end? And you eventually have to get to that point anyways. Best you get to it as quickly as possible. Is, who are you doing it for? Now, there is advantages, especially if you're looking to encourage people to do what you've done, to have some very visible evidence of that. I mean, that's really necessary if you're training people to do the same thing. You kind of have to put on a bit of a show. And as long as you realize that that's what you're doing, if you realize that your life is a show and that the certain things that you purchase aren't for you, that you realize that it really is for other people, and you're okay with that, then that's fine. Most of us don't think about it. What we end up doing is we end up including it into our psyche of everything that we want and everything that we want to do and want to have and want to be. It's all tangled up with what other people think about us. And even after you've been relatively successful, there's still a little bit in there. Sometimes the people change. It may not be the people you went to high school with. Now it's the people at work, or it's the people who are making, who are at a higher stratosphere of money making than you are, perhaps. If you're looking to become a millionaire, you want to impress the millionaires. If you're looking to be a billionaire, you want to impress the billionaires. And so there's always tends to be a little bit of that there. I don't think it's that important to, completely rid yourself of all of that. I think it's important for you to know what your motivations are and realize that pleasing other people in terms of, or making other people jealous, depending on how you look at it, shoving it in other people's faces, that only gets you so much of a high. And then after that, you're going to come down off of it, regardless of whether you're driving around a Rolls Royce or whatever. And you're left with, okay, what am I doing for me? And what am I doing for the betterment of all that is good in the world, or whatever, You have to come back to the idea beyond that. Because no matter what, you're going to be left with that anyways. At the end of the day, you're going to be left with just what you got in front of you. If that makes sense, hopefully it does. I like this quote, the way P.T. Barnum puts it, and it's within a section of his book where he goes into some of these ideas. So it's an interesting point that I just thought I'd throw out there to you. Now, I work with business owners and executives, and I look at partnering up, either purchasing their business or in partnering up with their business and finding a way to be able to build equity. And if that's something you'd be interested in, I recommend, every once in a while I get people asking about it. I don't promote that into my business that heavily, but if you're interested, check out my book first before you do anything else, to make sure that we would agree on where to take things. 9 ways to Amazon proof your business. Amazon proofing is just the concept of being completely competition proof, even if that competition was as big as Amazon.com. You can go purchase a book. If you really want to get into it, I'd suggest doing that. You get that at Amazon.com, anywhere. Or you can get a free copy from AmazonProofBook.com. 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 That's all I got for tonight. You have a good one. Get out there and just let the magic happen.